Hey, Garland Vance here. This time in life with this pandemic can create a lot of challenges for families. I've seen a lot online and even some articles in magazines and online publications right now in which parents are talking about how incredibly difficult it is to have your kids at home. And it is difficult. It's incredibly difficult to have 24/7 care, not only for the raising of your children, but also for the education of your children. And so it's really easy at this time to begin doing the simplest things possible when it comes to parenting, to just giving your kids as much media time as they want, or telling them to go away and having some alone time. And there's nothing wrong with media and alone time or any of those things. But I just really want to encourage you to use this time as an opportunity to create new family norms and rituals. As a leader, those are the people who I love to work with, high capacity leaders. And I think a lot of times we only see our leadership in terms of our leadership at work or in the office, and we fail to see what a huge influence we have in our homes, and how the more stable and the more content our home life is, the better our work leadership is going to be. And so now's this incredible opportunity to create some awesome new rituals with your family and to be intentional about the change that you want to create in your family. So my family actually had this happen, and last night we started a new ritual that has already proven to be really powerful. For years, we've talked about doing a Holy Week set of ceremonies and opportunities for our family to worship together and to prepare for Good Friday and for Easter Sunday together. But the reality is there were always evening activities or even church activities that sometimes distracted us from doing it. And so this week, because of the isolation, we decided to be very intentional in the creation of new rituals. Last night we celebrated what's called a Tenebrae service. And so here's how it is. I'm just going to give a quick overview of it. You wait until the sun has gone down and it's completely dark at night, and then you light a certain number of candles and you read a passage from the Bible, one for each candle. And for us, we read about 10 different passages from the Bible, and at the end of each passage, whoever reads that passage blows out the candle. And the idea is that the room gets progressively darker and darker until the last passage is read, the candle is blown out, and it's pitch black dark. And we sat in silence in the pitch black dark for about a minute. And then we started banging on the table. And the idea is that it's the earthquake, it's representative of the earthquake and of the stone being moved over the tomb where Jesus was laid. And then we sat in silence for another minute and just let the somberness of the event. And by the way, the passages that we read were from the arrest, the trial, and the crucifixion of Jesus. And at the end of this, we just walked away in silence. So this isn't a religious lesson as much as it is. That became a new ritual for us. In fact, it was so meaningful to us that our whole family agreed that we wanted to start doing this every year during Holy Week. This is an incredible time for you to create new family rituals and rhythms. And so maybe it's just having your family read a book together, and you've wanted to do that for a long time, or picking a night every week of doing board games together, or even watching a movie together. Maybe it's you've wanted to implement some new dinner time routines in which you ask each other some important questions like, what did you accomplish today? And what are you grateful for? And if you could do anything differently today, what would you do differently? Maybe the rituals that you want to create are just about making up a bed every day and making sure that everyone starts their day with a clean bed. Whatever it is, this is an incredible opportunity. In the midst of the challenges of parenting, it's an incredible opportunity for you to build new rhythms and rituals with your family that can take place. And so here's what I want to encourage you to do. Ask yourself a few questions. One, if we get to the end of this quarantine time, what is one change in our family that we would like to see happen? Just pick one and begin to do that. Or another question you could ask is, what are the long-term dreams and desires of our family? And what's one thing that we can do right now to begin seeing that take place? This is a really challenging time. I have kids who are older. I have a 15-year-old, 13-year-old, and 10-year-old, and my kids are pretty self-sufficient, and yet it's still incredibly challenging to have kids around all the time. It's hard to do work. It's hard to have time to hang out with the people that you love in addition to your kids. This is a hard time to have with your kids, but don't use that challenge as an excuse and miss out on the opportunity to really shape your family a little bit more in the direction and toward the vision that you wanted when you first had kids. This is a great opportunity to help your family live and lead with greater purpose, productivity, and peace. So take advantage as a parent of this time.